It's one I wrote many years ago called Poem for Breakfast. And many moons ago, Canadian poet Daniel David Moses told me, you never know where you're going to find a poem. He was right. I found this one in the freezer. Poem for breakfast. Well, there was nothing else around because my kid ate the last of the egos. Just this poem looking stale and smelling of whiteout. So I tasted the first line, not expecting much, just kind of noshing away, iambically rolling vowels around. Chipped an eye tooth, crunching a comma, nearly spit out a bitter word somewhere in the second verse. But what the hell do you do with the leftovers? Like, who needs a one-word poem? Well, the thing didn't even rhyme, but you know, it wasn't half bad. Could have used a shot of salt, and maybe I should have baked it or something, but I'm no hell in the kitchen. So anyway, I felt pretty good polishing off the last verse. Hey, maybe I should start up a little bistro. Call it PJ's International House of Poetry. You know, serve up a little Ezra pound cake, Ferlinghetti spaghetti, Carl Sandburgers, Blake Alaska, PJ nightcaps. There's just no end to this. I can't believe how delicious this poem is turning out. It's given me one hell of an appetite. Maybe I'll just taste the first couple words. Well, you know what they say about death and taxes. Can't escape them. The taxman cometh. You got the mansion, got the Rolex, got the BMW, got a gold card in your pocket. Ain't nobody quite like you. So you sip your gin and tonic as you lay beside your pool. Gotta keep up those appearances so people think you're cool. So you're just a little lonely, so you drink a lot of gin. So you gamble just a little. It's the only way to win. So your heart keeps doing flip-flops, so your hair is a little gray. So they say you've got an ulcer. It'll probably go away. Hey, the taxman cometh, and he's gonna make you pay. Hey, the taxman cometh, get down on your knees and pray. Hey, the taxman cometh, keeps a knocking at your door. Doesn't matter what you give him, keeps a calling out for more. You got friends, you got connections, got a classic coupe de ville, yet you feel no real affection. So you take a lot of pills. Take your broken dreams and drown them in a sea of alcohol, 'cause the taxman keeps a knock until he drives you up the wall. Got a wife who spends your money like it's going out of style. Got a daughter who's a crackhead, but she's just a little wild. Got no time to look around you, got to sweat it night and day. Gotta pay the bloody taxman, or they'll take it all away. Hey, the taxman cometh, keeps a knocking at your door. Doesn't matter what you give him, keeps a calling out for more. Hey, the taxman cometh, and he's gonna make you pay. When there's nothing left to give him, he will carry you away. When there's nothing left to give him, he will carry you away. And as I walk into the green garden that is always dying, the faces of the lost ones still blossoming before me like so many brightly colored flowers that never fade forever. My mother, her old bones asleep on the hill overlooking the ranch, above a crumbling cabin that echoes yet with story. Keep watch, keep track. As butterfat wolf pups wrestle with the frosted ends of snow-covered moose bones, and ravenous ravens, laughing like magpies, swoop down from stunted jack pines to scour the boreal vista, vying forever for whatever leftovers are left. My heart has memorized the saddle-straddled coffin and the line of sad-faced mourners moving slowly forward behind a riderless red fox pony, escorting the Yukon horsewoman home, carrying her up that mountain one last time. Where goes the green of summer when north winds come to howl away the sun? What's left of the fatted calf that once was life, that hovers now ghost-like upon some foreign horizon? Where do the living really go? A sudden burst of wolf wind thrashes through the buckbrush, quieting the neigh of gentle horses, caressing my friendless ear as if in answer. And the sun rises higher than God as the sparkling midnight waters begin to dance across the lake. Thank you, Yukon. Honor the Yukon trapper. I am also an animal rights advocate. On March the 6th, 2017, as the 45th annual 1,000-mile Iditarod sled dog race took off in Alaska, I wrote this poem to honor the many sled dogs who have suffered, been abused, and who have died as a result of being forced to run 1,000 miles in grueling conditions in the two long-distance sled dog races, namely the Alaskan Iditarod and the Yukon Quest, which takes place in my homeland. 5 dogs died in that one Iditarod race that year, and I vowed that I would do whatever it took to create a worldwide awareness about the desperate plight of the northern sled dogs. By the way, 6 dogs died in the 2009 Iditarod race, one race. Now the Yukon Quest 1,000-mile sled dog race takes place in my homeland, right there in my backyard. I call it the death race. Every year, at least one dog dies in agony. Last year, Boppy the sled dog died when he choked to death on his own vomit in minus 55 degrees below zero temperatures up above Dawson City, Yukon. This is the single most common cause of death in these races. This year, on February the 11th, 2019, another 5-year-old sled dog named Joker died the same way. One year, 4 dogs died in the Yukon Quest. And every year I have to ask myself, how many dogs will die this year? They take off right out of Whitehorse. Well, I posted an article on my website titled The Painful Truth About Long-Distance Sled Dog Racing to expose some of the truth about the horror that these animals face. Now, the mushers will tell you they love their dogs, but their actions prove otherwise. And what the media shows versus what the reality is are two different things. In reality, the dogs are often run to death and most often maimed for life. They actually suffer PTSD. And when no longer deemed useful, they are often culled, which is a polite way of saying killed, shot, throat slit, drowned. Believe me, northern sled dogs are some of the most abused animals in the world. When they're not being run to death, most sled dogs spend their lives on the end of a chain. We are the stewards of the creatures with whom we share this planet, and it's up to us to honor, to respect, and to protect them. I share the following poem to give a voice to the many defenseless sled dogs who continue to be exploited, abused, and forced to spend their lives tethered on a 4-foot chain 24/7. I have no voice. I can only speak to you with my eyes, with my bark, and with the wagging of my tail. If I could talk to you, I would tell you that I worship you, and that my only wish is to be with you, to be loved and adored, and to be wanted for who I am. I would tell you I am a living, breathing being, much like you, that feels love and joy and pain. And if I could only speak to you in words, I would tell you all these things. I would tell you I am here to do your bidding, even if that means running 1,000 miles in a brutal race I didn't choose to run, even if it means I might suffer and die. For you are my world, my greatest joy, and I only live to please you. I would protect you with my life if you asked me to. All I ask in return is that you love me back. My book is currently being blackballed at some outlets right in my own hometown. Recently, the manager of a large chain hotel in Whitehorse refused to carry my book and informed me that she wouldn't allow it on her property. She had recognized me as an animal rights advocate, and just by coincidence, she also sits on the board of directors of the Yukon Quest 1,000 mile sled dog race. It's not hard to recognize me. My face is on the front of my book, and it's also on the back under a banner that says, "Just say no to sled dog abuse." Say a prayer for the sled dogs. They deserve so much better. When you speak for those who have no voice, your soul smiles. A song I wrote many years ago called simply Howlin Time. And there's a video of the song on my YouTube channel. And some people have asked me, so why did you name it that? What's Howlin Time? Well, I can tell you. It's right here on the last page of my book. What's Howlin Time? Howlin Time is a soul cry. When you stand beneath the mountain and the frost is in your hair and your soul is bent and bleeding, it's Howlin Time. When you have to take your faith and put it where your heart is and let go, it's Howlin Time. When your life is on fire and you're on top of the world and everything is going your way, it's Howlin Time. When there's only God in you, it's Howlin Time. Sometimes you just have to get your howl on